Brother lads, welcome back to Cossy Arsenal Podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. There is a lot to talk about, especially in this week that Arsenal are hoping to finalize Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. Erik ten Hag is very furious with Manchester United because apparently he has already asked for the signing of Declan Rice as well. We're going to be talking about the competition we will face with Manchester United and Manchester City potentially all trying to bid for Declan Rice in this week. Balogun has been talking about his future at Arsenal. He said, at the moment, I'm not going to be going out on another loan deal. It's either I'm integrated into the squad with Mikel Arteta or I'll be leaving the side definitely this summer. Kieran Tierney could be staying. Talks between Arsenal and the representatives of the player are still going on very, very positively. And Fabio Vieira has picked up another injury before pre-season. All that and more in this part of the podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get this one to 500 likes. By the way, in the comment box below, I would like to ask you a very, very easy question. What do you think about Kieran Tierney's future at Arsenal? After Alexander Zinchenko coming in, doing very, very well in that inverted fullback position, do you think he still has a future at Arsenal? And would you be happy if Kieran Tierney signed a new deal and stays at the club? Newcastle, Aston Villa, of course, all really interested in signing Kieran Tierney, but at the moment, talks are progressing very well according to what we're hearing, and he might be staying at Arsenal, right? So let's get into it, but that is the question for the comment box this early morning. Right, let's dive into it. Let's start off with the big news on Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. So this could be the week that we get everything done on this on both fronts. Kai Havertz yesterday, as per Fabrizio Romano, personal terms are agreed and everything is agreed on player side. Chelsea are still waiting for that second bid from Arsenal. It should be coming in the next days. That could be today, that could be tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, but we expect Arsenal to go back with a better improved bid around 60 million this week. So this one could get done this week. I'm really optimistic. I'm really positive. I cannot say I'm really sure, but I can say I'm really positive we will get this done, this deal done next week. And of course, yesterday it was reported that after the international break, this deal will be over the line. Now, the international break ends after tomorrow. Germany do have a game. I think it's Malta. Is it Malta? Do they play Malta? I'm not really sure. But after that game tomorrow, after Germany playing, their last international break game, Kai Havertz will be back at Chelsea, and everything then will be sorted out. The advantage Arsenal have in this deal is that all the green light comes in from Chelsea and Kai Havertz's side. We already have the green light to sign him for both parties, and all we are waiting for is that Kai Havertz move to come in, get everything done after the international break. Now, there will be some pressure, in my opinion, from Kai Havertz, especially to push Chelsea into selling for a price they do not want. I think Chelsea believe if Arsenal have come in with 55 million early in the transfer window, he could be among their big targets. He could be among the players that they do not want to go away from the window without signing. So they might keep on stalling until we raise our offer. So Kai Havertz will be very crucial in this deal. He must come back at Chelsea and tell them, look, you have gotten a very good fee. You have been given a very good offer, by Arsenal, 60 million. No one is going to offer 60 million for me. Madrid have said they don't want to offer around 50 million for me. Bayern are not even bidding for my services. If you've got a club like Arsenal, a club that I've agreed personal terms with, a club that I would really like to play football for next campaign, why don't you let me go at this point in time? So this week, Declan Rice and Kai Havertz is going to be absolutely very crucial. Now, on the Declan Rice deal, I think it's going to be a crucial week, but I no longer have the guarantees that it's going to be over, and I don't have the optimism anymore. I don't have the positivism anymore that this one is going to be a done deal. Now, apparently, West Ham are going to continue stalling on this deal until they hear from Manchester City's final word, and they also hear from Manchester United's final word. Erik ten Hag is very furious with Manchester United and the takeover process. For taking very long, for stalling, and they're actually hindering his transfer business. So apparently, it's not only Mikel Arteta who has Declan Rice in his priority target list. it is also Erik ten Hag as well. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting. And I think, listen, before we get into all the competition, Arsenal have done themselves some dirty work here. We've really, really done ourselves some dirty work. And I think it comes from the fact that we thought we were the only runners to this deal. We thought there was no other club that was going to pay as much as 100 million for Declan Rice. But if you're hearing stories of Manchester United's Erik ten Hag being angry that we've not done the deal, that shows you that he's told Man United, you've got to get this deal done regardless of the pricing, regardless of what is going to happen and what they're going to demand for. I want the player, nothing more, nothing less, all right? So Ten Hag has him as a priority. Arteta has him as a priority. In terms of ability to spend, I think Manchester United would be the much better club in a much better position as compared to Manchester City and Arsenal. Of course, there's no question there. They've spent more money every single summer than any of us, like for the past 20 decades, right? And also, still talking about Declan Rice, West Ham are going to wait. West Ham are going to stall on this deal. And that's very, very bad news for Arsenal because, one, if City come in, they will blow us out of the water. If Manchester United come in, they will blow us out of the water. They're currently offering Rashford 375,000 a week. That shows you the ambition, that shows you they have the money, and that shows you that maybe they've already started anticipating Qatar. They've already started anticipating that Qatar is going to be coming, because what we're hearing is that Qatar put 6 billion on the table. 5 billion will go into the pockets of the Glazers to buy the club, or potentially own the club fully, and 1 billion will actually go into transfers. Imagine, Man United are going to be the new Chelsea. They are willing, under Sheikh Jassim, they are willing to spend over 1 billion on transfers. For me, I don't think the talk of a saga is gonna break through this week. I think it's going to take like another fortnight or probably until July. That's when we might hear that Qatar has bought or the Glazers have sold to Qatar. I think Arsenal should use this time. This week is going to be absolutely crucial. This is a deal where I feel the second bid will not be enough. I think we will go in with the second bid, around 100 million, but the structuring of that bid will see it rejected. So Arsenal need to really work on this one very, very quickly. How? I'm not really sure, because we are such a very financially cautious club. I don't think we are broke. I don't think we are poor, but we are a very financially cautious club. And one, we have limited resources. We've never had any season, any transfer window where we have unlimited resources. So one, we have limited resources, and two, we don't have a good strategy on transfers. That has to be said. The amount of players we've missed out that have been key priorities, the amount of players that we've missed out that could have potentially won us a silverware in the last 2 years, from Houssem Aouar to Dusan Vlahovic to Mikhailo Modric to Moises Caicedo, we do not have a good transfer strategy under Edu, especially when it comes to signing the big names, okay? So we need to get in our second bid. That is at least all we can do on Declan Rice. But there is no guarantee that the second bid will get the deal done. There is a lot of competition for Declan Rice now. Man United will be in there, and Manchester City are also in there as well. But the Kai Havertz deal is moving faster. So I think just for a done deal, just for optimism, let's think the Kai Havertz deal is closer than ever than the Declan Rice deal. I think last week the Declan Rice deal was very, very close. West Ham were convinced that Arsenal were the only club serious about the player. The player was also really excited about the project of playing under Mikel Arteta's, title contending, project. But now it's absolutely changed. Manchester United might not have been, title pushers, but they were always there. They finished third in the Premier League under a new manager. I think there's so many England internationals with Manchester United, with Luke Shaw, Rashford, and all these other players in, the likes of Jadon Sancho. I think Rice will look at that project and he will go, listen, if I'm going to ask him to play with Saka, if I'm going to ask him to play with Benjamin White, Aaron Ramsdale, and maybe Emil Smith Rowe, who are also England internationals, there are more England internationals at Manchester United who are even guaranteed starters than those at Arsenal. I think we have one starter in the England lineup. That is Bukayo Saka. Man United have a couple of them, and Manchester City also have a couple of them as well. So it's going to be quite fascinating where Rice is gonna go, because the personal terms we are offering, that can be agreed by any other club. He can agree personal terms with Chelsea, he can agree personal terms with Man United, he can agree personal terms with any other club. That is not going to be a problem. If Arsenal can afford to pay him over 270,000 or 300,000, that means City can, that means Manchester United can as well. So let's wait and see. Crucial week for both of these deals. They could get done this week. There is no question about that. But the positivism and the optimism is that the Declan Rice deal will stall. The Kai Havertz deal will get off the line very, very quickly. But still, Arsenal need to get both of them done this week. There is no question about that, right? After this week, it's going to be hectic. After this week, it's going to be transfer fury. It's going to be transfer frustration for Mikel Arteta. He wants to get into his preseason quickly. And I think, listen, as a manager, Arteta is absolutely right. You want your signings to come in very quickly. You want your signings to come in fast because, one, next season, the demands for your football club are not going to be entertainment only. There will be entertainment. And what do you have to win? What are you going to win? If Arsenal win the Carabao Cup, it would be such a very big embarrassment from us trying to win the Premier League and win the Carabao Cup and settle for that. But if we win the Carabao Cup and win the FA Cup and go back to the UEFA Champions League, probably finish third, I'll be definitely fine. I'll be okay with that. Right? I do not even care if we do not make it to the round of 16 in the UEFA Champions League. But if we can win 2 pieces of silverware, that will be something very, very, much like a statement, in my opinion. Anyway, so let's wait and see if Arteta can get his signings quickly, as soon as possible. Now, Fabio Vieira was preparing to play in the Under-21 Euros tournament with Portugal. He was also going to be the captain of that team because he was captain for them in 2021. But what I can confirm is that he's out of that tournament with an injury. It's being called a medical situation, a medical condition at the moment, and maybe that actually does not feel bizarre. That makes you feel a little bit comfortable when they call it a medical situation, a medical condition, but he's pulled out of the competition due to an injury. Now, Fabio Vieira, this is going to be his defining season at Arsenal. Just like Albert Samuel Konga, you come in, you don't hit the ground running. And the problem here is, and the problem many Arsenal players have, is that you have so many players at Arsenal who have come in and hit the ground running. Ramsdale, who has been absolutely phenomenal. Odegaard, who has been mind-blowing. Ben White, who didn't have a very good first season, but you can't say he didn't have a good season as well. Partey, Gabriel Magalhaes, Gabriel Jesus, Alexander Zinchenko. All these players have come in and they've had such a very good first season. And Leandro Trossard. So if you come in and you have such a mediocre season, you have to really work hard so that your second season is much better. And for me, Fabio Vieira, the fact that he didn't get a good preseason with Arsenal because he signed with that little bit of injury, and Mikel Arteta has not given him that kind of benefit of the doubt. He needed this preseason. He needs this preseason. Now, whether he will be available before the 13th of July, we do not know. I will be reporting anything I get about his injury status, but at the moment, he has pulled out of the Euros under 2021 with Portugal due to an injury. That is bad, because I think that tournament would have just given him the confidence, the right amount of confidence he needed. That is number one. But then number two, this preseason was going to be absolutely very key. And it's going to be absolutely key. One, for our preparations for next season and to set the ambitions, to set the bar high. We have Nuremberg. I don't want to see Arsenal losing games against Nuremberg, losing games against Celtic, Hearts, Rangers. That should not happen in preseason. I think we should. I think we have a very good preseason. There is Man United, there is Barca, there is I think Monaco and the Shield which is Manchester City. So I think that is very, very good preseason. That is a preseason that literally shows us where we are. You play Man United, we will play them in the first month of September. In the first week of September. We play Barcelona. We could potentially play Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League. And Monaco, a very good side, and Manchester City, of course, are champions. So for me, Fabio Vieira, that is that's a bit of bad luck. Florian Balogun has been talking about his future after winning the CONCACAF Nations League, and he said, at the moment, I really do not want to go back on loan. I want to play for Arsenal or go out on a permanent deal. So that is where we are. Kieran Tierney could also be looking at staying at Arsenal. Talks are progressing very well between Arsenal and his representatives, and we have a feeling that he might stay at the club. Now, of course, you know what my thoughts are. You know what my opinions are about Kieran Tierney. Keep him. He's a keep. But if he wants to go, then you definitely let him go. But if he wants to stay, there is definitely a big position for Kieran Tierney in that Arsenal lineup. There's no question about that. Give him 120,000 a week. Just keep him in the side. Absolutely. I'll be happy if he's there. Because there are games where we need to... when you're leading 1-0, when you're leading 2-1, and you're not in control of the game, Alexander Zinchenko is not much useful in such games. You bring in Kieran Tierney, defensively solid, can also create chances in terms of, crossing the ball into the penalty area. That's your guy. I'll see you right in the next one.